Hi, I'm Matt Griffith, Director of Policy at Business West. In this video, I'm going to share the key points you need to consider to start to prepare your business for Brexit. Those 3 points are your product, your customer, and your operations.
So, let's start by thinking about your product.
If you're a high-value, distinctive brand, your vulnerability to Brexit will be much less than a low-value brand in a highly competitive market. Equally, if you're a unique brand, you will be better insulated than a generic supplier. So does your product need to retain the same speed to market? How unique is it? And can your margins cover the possible additional costs? Whatever form it takes, Brexit is likely to mean greater friction in getting to market in Europe, including through new paperwork. You need to understand what this means. The other consideration for your product are the dreaded European regulations.
EU regulations have different levels of intensity depending upon the type of product you sell. For example, highly regulated sectors like health or chemicals require some companies to locate part of their business in an EU member state. Or a wider range of manufactured products often requires an EU located importer to take on the liability for your product.
One toy manufacturer who we work with has just set up a German company to take responsibility for the importer liability for their toys, rather than have this fall on their European customers.
You need to understand what regulation impacts you. Get in touch and we can help signpost you to where to go next.
The second area I want you to consider is who is your customer.
Too many businesses preparing for Brexit think only about themselves, but it is your customer who will be critical.
What is your relationship like with them, and what is it about Brexit that concerns them? For example, we're working with one local company that has an excellent, distinctive product, docking stations for iPads for European schools. They were confident that they could cope with Brexit, but when they spoke with their European distributors, the buyers were concerned about having to handle import paperwork, so were looking to buy elsewhere. Why don't you have a conversation with your customers to understand their concerns and start to reassure them about the steps you are taking to minimise disruption?
The third consideration is, can your business operations cope?
Brexit could be a big shock, not just on your operations that you can control internally, but also in what happens externally, some of which will be outside of your control. Let's start by looking inside your business. Who in your business is going to be responsible for making sure you are Brexit ready? Who is going to be scoping what paperwork you need? And who will be asking the right questions to make sure your systems are ready and in place? Who are your key people, and are they EU nationals? You'll also want to start to consider your future skills supply, because finding the right people is about to get a lot tougher. Finally, let's turn to the external influences on your business. This is about logistics and where general disruption could hit your operations.
For example, do you export through a busy port like Dover, or are there alternative routes available? Who carries your products? And how resilient are these firms to either a no-deal Brexit or a sharp increase in demand?
The more influence you have over your route to market, the easier it will be to mitigate against operational disruption. At this point, what Brexit looks like is still uncertain, but understanding your risk and planning ahead should help you trade through Brexit and beyond.
If you have a trade-related Brexit question, then we would really like to hear from you. Our goal at Business West is to provide an online resource where you can find trusted and impartial answers to your questions, and provide you with updates on Brexit negotiations as they unfold. So, if you have a question about trade post-Brexit, why not ask us now? It's an interactive service shaped by your questions, and we will respond to as many as possible.